All right.
The hottest new trend is here, and it's got everyone talking. What's spreading quick and makes you sick, infecting everyone? It's worldwide and many have died, but so much fun. You start to cough, then pass it off, and no one knows what to do but wash and clean and quarantine for Wuhan flu. Corona, corona, the virus infecting us all. Corona, corona, you cough and shake, then fall. There is no cure, it's not secured, pandemic soon begins. But don't be scared, just stay prepared when panic settles in. It's growing fast, so wear a mask, buy plenty of extra food. But don't wait long, it's soon to be gone, and now you're screwed. Corona, corona, the virus infecting us all. Corona, corona, so let's all sing along. Corona, corona, infecting everyone. Corona, corona, the worst is yet to come. Everyone's got corona, you're gonna get it too. Come on and get corona, Wuhan flu. The Coronavirus, brought to you by Michael Bloomberg. The Requiem of the Crazies comic book. Issue number 2 is now available for pre-order. Make sure to grab a copy before it's too late.
There is a sixth dimension beyond that which is known to man. A multiverse as vast as eternity, as timeless as the Infinity Gems. It is the middle ground between the big two and the indie publishers, between sci-fi and mysticism, and it lies between the pages of the reader's imagination. At the summit of entertainment, the dimension of comics, where a humble service is held. We call this service the Gospel of Comics.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gospel of Comics. I am your host, the Church of Failure, and with me as always is my trusty co-host, Ayrton McCartney. How you doing today, buddy?
Doing pretty good. Still got to work tomorrow, but
yeah,
it's all right. I get paid still. So.
Yeah. So they shut you down. We talked about that a little bit last night, but before we get too much into to the Corona Chan, we have a very special guest with us in the digital studio. Welcome, Mr. NoFinalBlackout, aka Friends.
Good afternoon.
On Twitter, that's correct, Friends.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Call me whatever you want.
Well, don't give us that freedom. We're degenerates here, sir.
Nothing new that I haven't heard.
You do hang around with another friend of the show, the Killing Joke. So I mean, I can only imagine.
Oh yeah. Old man, it's a good time.
So, first off, I'm sure everyone in the chat has noticed the accent and fallen in love with it. So, where do you hail from, sir?
I'm from Norway.
Norway.
So that I have a weird accent because I started off watching a whole bunch of British TV shows and then completely do a right turn and went into American English.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
So it's completely watered out.
Oh yeah. You've definitely got a unique.
How does
accent.
your brain handle that?
It's mixing as we go along. It's only a certain words where you can tell that I have a slight English accent.
Well,
yeah.
I definitely appreciate you coming on with us today. You talked about a project a while back, and I didn't know you had gone live with it already. But I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, that guy needs to come on the show. Like, what is he doing? We started talking about something, and then Corona Chan came around and just derailed everything. So, thank you very much for making some time with us. Go ahead.
Of course, we've been talking about me going on the show for I think it was in October.
Yep.
Where we first talked about it because it was still in the U.S.
Oh yeah, that's right. And you were talking with Killing Joke, and we dropped the ball on that one. I do apologize. It's not the tightest run ship here. I'm in charge. I should know. We
Oh,
we make
that wasn't on you at all. Like I was going home that weekend, so I was already stressed out.
Oh, I understand. But I did see your project, SmashedComics and NOBDYS. The unique
Yep.
spelling there. Let me get that pulled up on screen for the people. Make sure everybody can see that there. Yep. SmashedComics, the first dump, and the NOBDYS. So I guess before we get too far into it, why don't you give us a rundown of what these two books are? What your position? Are you writing them, drawing them, both?
Well, I'm doing both.
Okay.
Essentially, what Smash Comics is kind of a magazine type kind of comic, kind of like how Mad Magazine is.
Right.
Yeah.
Like we had a lot of like Don Martin or comics come into Norway in the 90s, and I kind of grew up reading that and a magazine called Python, which is a little bit more on the adult side.
I was gonna say that one's not one I'm familiar with.
Yeah,
but
that's more or less a Scandinavian magazine. So
okay. Yeah, that was actually going to be the original topic, and we'll have to get you back on to talk about the European comic side of things as well. Or we can get into it a little bit later on in the show, or both. But I did want to bring you on to promote your project here. You've already reached and surpassed your goal. Now, you have
my flexible goal.
Yeah, the 432 American. Where did you come up with how did you come up with that number as far as your goal? Is that just print cost for the bare minimum amount?
Actually, it's the bare minimum.
Okay. And anything extra?
So my goal was...
Go ahead.
Go on.
No, I interrupt too much. Go ahead.
Oh, well, no, I set the bare minimum at that, and I knew like basic costs of what it costs for me to like produce the comics, for me to get it imported and then ship out. So I was trying to plan as much as possible. That's why I've also not been able to. I wasn't really able to stream for a bit because I was stressing out trying to figure things out. So yeah.
Now, and you launched two different comics. The two 30-page comics with jokes, gross out humor, and general silliness. I have seen your art style all over the place. I just had no idea that was you. I see it on Joke Stream all the time. I see it just out and about on Twitter. You've done some profile pictures for some people, I believe.
I've been all over the YouTube place, to be honest.
Have you? Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you done an avatar for Broski, I believe, as well? Correct? Or something?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I just remember seeing something on his stream, and it looked exactly like this. And I could never
Wake and Bake.
Yes, that's it. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So you've been all over the YouTube sphere. You are a veteran of the Kumite Wars, as I am. I remember all of that nonsense happening. Yeah, it's almost as bad.
Well,
as
I was on the outside of everything, to be honest. So
right. Well,
it's not like, again, I tend to stay out of shit. Like I don't have time nor energy for it.
Oh no, I'm about at the same place, but we were both members of that community before it fell apart into two warring factions.
Don't forget, I was there too.
Yeah, but nobody knows who you are.
Hey, I was in the same place as him.
Oh no! Don't say that. Don't say that. Ayrton is the lowest of the low. He's actually calling in on the stream right now from a tin can hooked up to a fishing line. So
see, I'm like David Attenborough watching like the internet denizens from afar, just observing all the insanity.
That's a reference that literally
Yeah,
no one gets.
Okay, Novel Bro gets it. I know that. Come on, David Attenborough does all the nature documentary. Whatever.
No, I
You
got
know who
it.
I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, it just flatlined my brain for a bit.
Ayrton's out here making old man references, putting our age out there. Might as well have said Steve Irwin or some shit. Somebody topical at least. Goddamn. But anyway,
I think David Attenborough's still alive.
I hate you
Is
so
he?
much.
Is he? I don't know. Now I need to look that up.
I have no idea.
How long have we been on the air? That's exactly 10 minutes. It took 10 minutes for it to devolve into this. Jesus Christ. Of course you don't
Don't worry. There's going to be derails.
Of course you don't understand the reference, Opal. Ayrton's silly. He's a goober.
I'm surrounded by old people.
That's right.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's 93 years old now.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's just trying to get up. He's just trying to get up the courage to go smooze the queen. I guess I don't know. Fucking. Did you guys see where Prince Charles has the coronavirus? Like nothing is going to dethrone that old bat. That old woman is going to rule England with a dusty fist until the world crumbles.
Nothing's stopping her.
No, she's immortal. Like she literally just become immortal. She knows where the fountain of youth is. She sacrifices virgins to it every weekend to maintain her mortality. They can't make her look young anymore.
So now it's just survival.
That's right. It's just maintenance at this point. Anyway, back to the comic. You've got two different books here. What's the difference between the two of them?
The difference between the two is SmashedComics is kind of like just short sketches, kind of like 2-3 pages at most, while the NOBDYS is a somewhat concrete story.
Okay.
It's kind of difficult to explain because it started as a sketch between me and Joke, I believe.
Okay.
And we kind of just started talking about doing the Shakes drawings.
Right.
Because Shakes the Hobo, for anyone who doesn't watch The Killing Joke, is just a character that he came up with. And I kind of just managed to visualize what he was explaining, which led us into making like jokes about me and like Joke and Disky, who's another friend of ours. And we kind of just went with it and started writing a couple of jokes here and there, doing like skits on stream. And I just decided one day just to ask, okay, why don't we just make this into a comic?
I've got Shakes pulled up
and
from the campaign here. You see, you've got the Christmas version. There's one in a dumpster being pulled by a giant chicken. There's one with a chicken inner tube. That's fantastic. There's Halloween Shakes with the ghost costume. But this is, for those of you that don't know, this is Killing Joke's
Ghost, quote unquote.
Yeah, this is Killing Joke's avatar for Donos. The hobo shaking the cup is the overall idea for the character, I believe. But
yeah, it is.
I love
and
it a little bit.
These are the earlier designs of it. We're gonna do like a full like the actual wall calendar, so the illustration's gonna have backgrounds and everything, and they're not gonna be like the old designs. They're gonna be completely new ones.
That's another tier on the campaign where you can get a calendar of Shakes for $20. It's the 2021 calendar.
If we make it.
Yeah. But you also have the option
A little ambitious.
to be in the comic for $58. So again, that's not like a lot of times you see those tiers upwards of $200 to $300. Like everything's very affordable on your campaign. Can I mean, and don't
Yeah.
delve into trade secrets or anything. But how were you able to manage that? Are you just at bare minimum, and because you're doing the work, you're basically not getting paid, or like?
Honestly, yeah, I've put the prices of the comics a bit low. Yeah, I have. But honestly, I just want people to be able to read the comics. Like, I'm not gonna make a big profit out of it. No, but like the perk that is to be in the comics is kind of where my profits are gonna be from. To be honest.
Okay, yeah, so definitely, if you guys are interested in that, check that out first and foremost. Just under $60 to be drawn into the comic, and you also get a copy of NOBDYS, a copy of SmashedComics as well. So basically, you're not even paying $60 to be in the comic; you're paying under $40. It's $38 after you get your two $10 books. So I mean that's a deal. But again, you
I wanted to. Okay, so I live in Europe. I have to deal with a lot of crowdfunding campaigns that are in the US, and I know how expensive it is to get things shipped across the sea. So, like every campaign that I've backed so far, I basically had to pay double just to get it shipped to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like it's like $20 to $25 shipping.
That's been a big problem with Doug TenNaples' most recent project because he had his hiccup with Bigfoot Bill 1 shipping internationally. He upped his international shipping price. I remember. And
I did back that.
Oh, were you one of the infamous 100 and something that didn't get their making of book?
I don't think I actually got that perk, no. Okay. But I got just the book. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you there was a group of people who did not get the making of book, and that was a big point of contention. We don't really draw lines in the sand as far as picking sides on that kind of stuff, usually, unless somebody directly pisses one of us off. But
meaning if they directly piss Church off.
Well, yeah, I mean, what are you talking? I mean, you've come on here with issues before, and I've let you rant.
That's true.
You know, I've let you go off.
Book hut. You bitch. Unblock me.
Unblock his guitar. But no, the new book, I believe the shipping is actually more expensive than the perk itself.
And I can believe that. Again, it all depends on how big the book is, and if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be a hardcover as well.
Yes, everything he's putting out recently has all been hardcover books.
Yeah, which makes it a bit heavier, which drags up the price.
And also larger. I never knew that the actual dimensions of the package, like every inch matters. I thought there was a range, but in my job,
oh no,
yeah, in my job, it's every like half of an inch increases the price, and that's insane to me.
Yep.
I mean, the people who set up the dynamics for shipping in this country are geniuses and evil. Opal in the YouTube chat says, "Please give Blackout money. He likes food." So,
Opal, she's not wrong.
Opal coming to bat for you. Opal is known, at least to me, from the Morning Decay, where she will go on and her voice is so. How do you put this? It's so
high pitched.
It's so high pitched that you hate to love it. Like, I adore Opal, and I hate myself because of it.
You know what? That's a good description of her gimmick voice. Yeah.
No, in my headcanon, that is actually her real voice. That is how she talks to everyone all day. The people at Starbucks know her by that voice. Yeah, he is a pig. I don't know who.
Hey,
Joe
old man,
Kentucky.
how you doing?
Appreciate you. You stopping in, Joe. Good to see you, buddy. But yeah, so NOBDYS is your more straightforward story. You
Yeah.
are credited at the top here. Disky Fringo, who is also apparently in the chat, and the Killing Joke are all involved in the story. I'm guessing for NOBDYS.
Yes, they both of them have helped me out to write the story because
Okay.
I want their feedback on it, and because they're in the comics or in the comic with me, I want them to be fine with the jokes that I'm gonna make and all the gross out stuff. So, like, I have a bad tendency to draw things hairy, moist, like just to creep people out.
Are you just saying words that
Specifically.
make
The
people
worst
uncomfortable?
adjectives you could pick.
I was about to say, are you
Yes,
just
I
saying
do.
words that make people uncomfortable? Like, is that your modus operandi? Because you're going to get on great.
Why do you think I specifically said the word moist?
Yeah.
People hate that word.
Oh yeah, I'm
I
well
kind of
aware.
like it. Unless it's followed by like socks or underwear. I don't mind it.
Exactly. It's putting it in context of everything.
Right.
Yes, Opal, you are known.
But
Stop spurting out in the chat, please. Hold on real quick, friends. I have one thing that I have to do. Just it's kind of it's commonplace in the show for this to happen at least once, but our president has something to say. Has something to say to Ayrton real quick.
Okay.
Oh, I fire him at least once a show for being him. Moist is what got him this time. Moist got him fired this week. Moist socks and underwear. I was gonna eat something after the show, but I don't know.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
You're not.
Nobody wants to walk around.
You're just an asshole. Don't say it again. Don't do it. All right.
Hey, that's my gimmick.
But the description
Out of respect to the guest, I won't say it again.
In the campaign overview, first off, you clearly denote for adults only, so there's no misconception that these books are even remotely intended for minors.
Oh God, no! Like it's not gonna be like it's not directly like underground comics, let's say it like that, because those have a lot of sexual content in it.
Right.
I like using a lot of vulgar language. I like using gross out humor,
body humor kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I don't want to need to like walk around jokes because I want to keep it PG.
Right. No, and a lot of times,
yeah.
And that is, I know that I make a big point on this show that the mainstream industry needs to be focusing more on trying to keep kids in comics, but independent creators, I think, are really where we need to be going for our adult books. And because here's the thing, I don't really care about the 900th time that Spider-Man's going to be a bad guy and make a sexual innuendo at Black Cat. I don't care anymore. You can't do anything even remotely controversial with the character, so it's always going to, kind of flop out like a wet pancake. And, excuse me, moist pancake.
Like a moist pancake?
I knew it was coming, so I just tried to head you off, but you still fucking went there. I'm
a good influence.
But in the drop down campaign, it says SmashedComics is a comedy comic magazine. Fantastic use of words there. Which inspired by gross out animation shows from the late '90s, early 2000s, and I know exactly what you're talking about when you reference gross out animation. You're talking stuff like Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy, and just all of that classic Duckman.
Ronco's Modern Life.
Yes.
Kind of
Did you
Are
ever
Real Monsters.
Did you ever get Duckman? Was that ever in your purview? I
I don't
Duckman.
think so.
If you like stuff like Ren and Stimpy, Beavis and Butthead, Are Real Monsters, you would like Duckman. Anybody in the chat?
Then I absolutely have to watch it. I think my biggest inspiration out of that era was Ren and Stimpy and Ed and Eddie.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Yeah,
that was a great show.
It was a great show, but it was so fucking strange, and I kind of loved it for that. It's kind of absurd in how it went about its comedy.
Ed, Ed and Eddie was a great show. I feel like it went on a little too long, and they tried to make something out of it that it never really should have been. They tried to actually add continuity to the show, and I think that's kind of where it met its maker. But in the early days, like the first 2 seasons of Ed and Eddie are the stuff of legends.
Oh yeah, and
just batshit insanity.
Mm-hmm.
I think I actually watched everything from Ed and Eddie back in I think it was 2010, including the movie, and it was strange going from the first seasons to the last episode.
Right. Yeah, it kind of it lost the plot on what it was supposed to be, I think, because it was trying to, I don't know, capitalize on the success of those shows that went on forever and had storyline and had cliffhangers and plot development. You don't need it in a show like Ed and Eddie. That'd be kind of like trying to add plot to Powdered Toast Man, right? There is no plot to a guy scraping his face on things to fix them. I mean, it's just there's no. Go ahead.
When it comes to shows like that, I think you always will have to go back to a default position in the story, because either that or there has to be some kind of a narrative throughout.
And
it's kind of like having filler episodes in a sitcom.
Right. No, and oh god, that's an entirely different discussion.
Oh yeah.
Let me keep going here. But yeah, comics like Mad Magazine, Python Magazine. I actually have a backlog of old Mad magazines that I picked up from my comic store when they rolled out all the antique bins they had. It's filled with pages of a lot of jokes. You've redesigned the cover. So has this been released previously, or was this just a retouching of the cover?
I redid parts of the cover from when I first launched the campaign. I had been working on that cover for a couple of days, leading up to the launch, because I suddenly got. I wasn't happy with the original cover, so I made a new one, and then I started seeing issues with the one that I launched with, and I could not stop looking at the where I've messed up. So I just decided to, okay, well, I might just as well just fix this. And I also had the chance to talk to EVS, who gave me a couple of advice, I guess, where he pointed out, like, yeah, the cover needs to be really eye-catching. And yeah, I mean, of course. I guess I was just too stressed out at that point
Well, looking
that I
at
didn't even think about it.
well, looking at it
Yeah.
from side to side here, just a SmashedComics cover, I can see it's the same concept, but again, the new cover definitely more eye grabbing. The color palette is a lot more conducive to catching someone's attention. It doesn't all just kind of blend together. Um, good job with the changing the color of the sign first and foremost. That makes that stick out. The color of the guy's hoodie doesn't blend into the background as much. The text is much more legible in the word bubble, and there's a lot more definition in the actual colorway of all the characters. None of them are as muddy. Not that the original was a bad piece of artwork, but as a cover, the second one definitely does work better.
Yeah,
it pops more.
Right.
It does. I completely agree, and that's also why I wanted to do the line art one as well, because I read the most of like the line art first and just looked at it, and I just really liked how it turned out.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a colorist. Like, I can say that right now. I'm not a fucking colorist. I don't know what I do most of the time. But considering how it used to look, I think I did fine.
Yeah, I mean, as far as saying you're not a colorist, I don't see anything particularly wrong with the way. I mean, you've got your light aspect pretty good. The shading on the back side of the character, the highlight on the front side. I mean, it's simplistic stuff, but I mean, you did great as far as the coloring goes to not be a colorist.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I've actually been trying to like learn a little bit about coloring. I have because I've been watching like streams from people in the industry, like Gabe L Time, who's currently working on like I think it's Young Justice, and he's also the colorist for Doug Apple. And I've just been watching some of his streams, just picking up a couple of things about how he colors things, and I just start applying a bit to my own stuff and just trying to learn things that I don't know how to do.
I once fell down a YouTube rabbit hole for probably about 6 hours watching a guy who takes children's coloring books and professional grade markers and whatnot, and will go through and like professionally color a coloring book.
I've seen some of those.
Yeah, where you'll get like all of the shading and detail of Iron Man's armor from like a blocky coloring book page, and he works magic. And I have no idea why I started watching these videos. And, it started, I was looking up some 3D printing and 3D pen stuff, and I was on that for a couple. Like, literally, if you fall down a rabbit hole on YouTube, you're in there for hours on end if you don't pull yourself out.
I'm right there with you. I can't tell you how many times I've gone down a rabbit hole of watching 3D modeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're just you get done at the end, and it's almost like you just got done watching porn. Like you just feel dirty. You're like, I've just
you probably feel less dirty watching the porn.
Yeah, I just got done watching people who are infinitely more talented than I am do something that I could never do. And not only did I just get done watching it, I watched it for 4.5 hours. I wasted 4.5 hours being envious of people. I'm gonna go take a shower now.
What you felt was the shame.
That's right. That's right. That's nothing new for me, though.
Well, bring dishonor upon your family.
Well, yeah, I mean, why else would they have me?
Exactly.
Somebody's got to do it. But anyway, continuing on. After some thoughts and noticing some issues with the original cover, we've decided to redo parts of the cover. The new cover will be the one on all copies of Smash Comics that come in. Most of the comic is drawn by me, friend, but we also got a couple of wonderful artists contributing to it. SemajZ,
Semaj.
and Geneva, and Lord Byron, who did not have a Twitter at. So I will add those to the description.
Yeah, he keeps getting booted off Twitter.
Oh yeah, well, some of us have that problem. We get a little too heated sometimes. Get a little.
That's why I walk away from Twitter most of the time. Just nah, I'm not gonna risk my Twitter. I've been on Twitter for like 7 years now.
I am surprised that I have managed to keep my account up for as long as I have. I have gotten into the thick of it with some people a few times. Been a good boy recently. I don't get into it too much, but there are some times where I just start throwing down and I kind of lose myself. Maybe I've had one too many bourbons, or 5 too many bourbons, or 10 too many bourbons, and
or a bottle too many bourbons.
A couple of tequilas too much. Yeah.
Well, luckily I wasn't on Twitter when I was drinking tequila, or I would just be fucking permabanned. They would state ban me. Like, I couldn't go anywhere in the state to reset my IP to try and get a new one. I'm like, nope, fuck that guy. So, the NOBDYS is a comedy comic about a group of nobodies who decide they want to make a comic together. Yes, it's a little meta. Since making comic costs money, they're a cast of silly characters. Their journey takes a lot of strange turns to make comic. Will they succeed, or will they give up? The fact that it's an option that they might give up, I really kind of hope it's that one. Like, I'd love to be sitting there reading
anti-climax.
Well, I'd love to be sitting there reading a comic about a group of people who set out to make a comic and failed, and I'm actually reading the comic that they failed at making.
The last few pages are just sketches.
And the last
okay, fine. It's
the last page is just a bunch of eraser marks and just somebody scribbled across "fuck this."
Actually, at one point that was my plan.
Oh man! Spoiler alert, folks! Fuck this is the end of the comic.
Oh no, that's not a spoiler at all, because this comic has gone through like 8 different rewrites over the, like 2 years now.
Jeez.
Yeah, it was like, it started as a passion project for me and my buddies, and there were a lot more people involved at the time, and then people started having issues with each other, and I kind of just condensed it down to the 3 people that really stuck. Like, it was me and Joke originally, and then Disky and Joke hung out a lot, and me and Disky started hanging out, and we ended up just being a trio of dumb shit.
I mean, usually the smaller the better. We actually were commenting on the case of the Littlest Umbrella last night, and
Yeah.
I made the statement that the Goody Bird ash can from that book actually serves as a time capsule for 2018 Comicsgate, because of the tribute page that was in there. And even now, just a year later, looking back at that and seeing everything that's happened, I mean, Edwin Boyette is now railing against Ethan Van Sciver every chance he gets. Doug TeNapel no longer associates with the group, and you've got War Campaign out there. You've got, and it's just a very different landscape than it was in 2018. And every time I see that comic now, I'll be reminded of when times were quote unquote better for that entire group, but at the same time, where are we going to be in another, 2 years, 3 years? What kind of factions or alliances or any of that stuff are going to fall apart? And that really, it kind of spoils it a little bit for me because there's some potential for a lot of great, team ups. Honestly, I fully expected Comicsgate to, and excuse me for waxing poetic here, but I expected Comicsgate to become something akin to a brotherhood of businesses, so to speak, where you would have people crossing over with other characters. You would have, artist and writer teams picking up a side project or a backup story in a comic book they had nothing to do with initially. I actually was really hoping in the beginning that we might see the massive talent of Ethan Van Sciver and Doug TenNapel work together in something akin to like a Bigfoot Bill Cyber Frog like caper, you know. Whether it just be in a single page like webcomic format or a poster or something. Like the potential for that kind of stuff was there, but now after everything that's happened, I'm a little concerned that we're going to get less and less of that as people are more and more wary of, well, this guy's cool with me right now, but what's he going to be saying about me in 2 weeks? I don't necessarily know that I want his name on my project if we're just going to fall out in 6 months before we even fulfill the project. Is it worth it to me?
That's always a risk.
Yeah, is it worth it to me as a creator, or me as a backer, even to put money down on something and then find out that the main reason I supported it was because of a backup creator or something like that being on it, and then they're no longer on the project? Am I an asshole and I just get a refund and take my money away because I'm no longer getting what I wanted? And from what I understand, when you get a refund on Indiegogo, that actually it hurts the creator because they actually have to come out of pocket a little bit for a fee, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So
And
as a customer,
that's
like
why.
Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's why I look at like project like that with kind of a critical eye, because like, okay, with mine, I have like two of my actual friends. Like these are people that I've met, or at least would joke I've met him like twice now, 3 times. I lost count. And
you can sure count high, can't you?
Be
hey,
nice.
it's been like 2 years now. Like that mixed with the fact that I've met Disky in real life, and I've more or less had periods of months where I've talked to them every single day. Like it's that clear communication and no one really trying to fuck with the other's business. And there's no competitiveness in what we do, because I'm the only one drawing. Joke is doing his radio kind of thing, and this kid's doing his degenerate thing.
Well, I mean, Disky, when are you coming on the show, man?
Yeah, you know what? Just DM Disky, he'll probably come on. He's a good dude. Also, you'll get around to it in the campaign, but we also have like help from Lord Byron, who, again, he's been a big part of this campaign, because besides NOBDYS, like that's the original project that I started with. I was originally gonna have one bit in the NOBDYS with Lord Byron, which is still happening. Like he's gonna be in the comic. And he was going to provide just a one-off skit where we call him in. He delivers like a one-page comic that I was going to just have as a one-off in the NOBDYS. And then just have that as a one-off goof. And he delivered like 20 pages.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's when that became a stretch goal. If we had $1,000, then yeah, fuck it, everyone gets a copy. He worked hard on that.
What's Disky's Twitter?
Good question. I don't remember.
Okay. Here, I'll
Let's
just put
see.
the.
I'll
I believe he's in the YouTube chat. I'll just put the invite in there if you're not already in the server. You can jump in.
yeah, I'll send it to you on Twitter.
There we go.
There you go.
All right, and I will send it to him there as well. Yeah, if you want to call in, if you. Oh, okay. It used to actually be something Disky, and that's why I couldn't find it.
Yeah, I think he changed his ad.
Or he got banned.
No, he's got an older Twitter, so who knows.
Oh.
Who knows at this point? I don't even know. I tend to stay off the internet for most of the days, to be honest.
I don't know, man. I've been glued to my my iPad watching this coronavirus thing work out. How is it affecting you where you're at? Not to dox your location or anything, but what's life like where you're at? Has it changed at all? Are people freaking out, pulling their hair out, sheltering themselves in? Is your local government taking away your ability to congregate?
Honestly, our situation is not that bad. Like there's not a mass panic. People are a little bit stressed out about it, yeah, but we're not buying stress buying shit. We're not clearing the shelves for toilet paper.
I was gonna say I'm gonna DM you my address and PayPal you some money if you'll send me some toilet paper. It's a hot commodity over here right now.
Yeah, I've heard. Seems like you guys are having a big issue having the shits.
Well, here's the thing though, it got over here in America, and within a month we overtook the entire planet in cases, essentially. So there's a massive amount of spread. Nobody can decide, what to do about it. Our federal government's allowing local governments to deal with it, and when you have one guy in charge and he just walks around and he's like, yeah, you just gotta work it out amongst yourselves. That never works, right? 50 different states can't agree on a president, much less a the ability to much less the ability to handle a pandemic like this. And currently we're sitting at 140,000 cases in the U.S. alone. That's literally 1/3 almost of the cases on the planet. No, not 1/3. Probably about a fifth, I guess, of the cases on the planet. We're kind of screwed. We don't have as many deaths as people have projected that we would. And I think the main thing is that people are worried about the hospitals being overrun, but our economy's in the crapper, and I think that's the main reason people are buying toilet paper, is because eventually that's going to become the new cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
I made the joke the other day. I went into a Costco, and I had taken a roll of 2-ply and just taken all the sheets off individually into a stack. And when I walked into the Costco, people were just panicking all around, and I couldn't get anywhere. So I just reached in and I pulled this stack of toilet paper sheets out, threw it in the air, and made it rain 2-ply. And then I was able to do my shopping in peace.
That's one way to do it, yeah.
But no, we're losing our minds over here, and it's
I have heard.
It's becoming an issue not only of people freaking out because of the disease, but they are freaking out because they can't go to work. People like me, I'm of two minds of it. I understand the idea of quarantine for keeping it, keeping it at bay. If you're going to quarantine, then quarantine. But if you're not, then maybe don't just shut down everything and, let businesses continue to move if you're just going to do these half measures like, oh, we're going to close down bars, but we're still going to allow you to go into the restaurants and get takeout. We're gonna shut down gyms, but you can still pile in 100 deep to a Walmart to fight over the toilet paper delivery that day or the ground meat delivery. It's ridiculous. There's no leadership. There's no one acting sensible in amongst this, and it's literally overtaking every faucet of our day. Like, I have to keep up and make sure that I still have a job to go back to tomorrow, because literally at any moment during the workday, our governor could just come out and flip the light switch and say, I have to go home because I'm not essential.
And that's basically what happened to me on Friday.
Yeah.
It was about 1 o'clock and got the call like, okay, yeah, we have to shut down now. We got a letter.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so it got to that point.
Yeah. But,
yeah.
I mean, again, I don't understand, I'm going to be real pissed if this gets around to April 1st and the whole world just comes out and it's like, psych. April Fools.
It was an extended April Fool's joke.
Yeah, we got you.
Oh god, that would be the worst.
We got y'all's asses. Here's 2 rolls of toilet
Bill
paper.
Gates comes out. Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see if we can roll back around to the book. So on to the next comic, NOBDYS. This
We did
comic
that.
started. No, I know. Catching back up. Calm down.
Oh.
Chill. Are you okay?
It'll be over soon. Don't worry.
This comic started back in 2019 as a collaboration between me and 2 of my friends, and quickly became a passion project because of my Patreon and supporters there. They made it possible to make it a thing for a while. However, a lot of things have happened, so we completely rewrote the entire thing and changed styles. We were done, but we were like, yeah, we're going to do it different.
Oh no, it wasn't done. We were like halfway through, and I just said, nah. We gotta fix this.
Both of these comics are going to be in black and white, and I plan to be 16 by 20 or 17 by 26 centimeters. Now
that would be like US comic size.
Okay, standard.
Okay.
Standard size. I was gonna say break it down for us heathens that don't know the empirical system.
Yeah, no, it's I believe it's the US standard, so it's just I wrote it down in centimeters because I couldn't remember myself. Like I looked over to my actual project document and it says in centimeters, so I just wrote it down real quick.
Fair enough.
So you've also got some stretch goals lined up. We did talk briefly about the Shakes calendar. I am actually looking forward to that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
That's one of the things that I'm looking forward to getting around to making. Like the Shakes character have always been kind of fun for me to just throw together over maybe 2 days.
Yeah,
like that's I usually just use like 2 days on getting each of those designs done.
I mean, you can tell that there's a lot of detail and a lot of love put into them, even though they're a little bit weird and kind of creepy.
But I love it.
Like a lot of times you can see with characters like this, there'll be a template for it, and you'll just go in and you can edit that template. But there's kind of an idea of a template here, but every one of them is just a little bit different. Like the hands aren't all the same. The feet aren't even all the same. Like you can look at the socks and the boots and the general, like the toes sticking out is even different on most of them. You draw these individually. It looks to me, at least, that you draw these individually from scratch for the most part.
Yes, I do. I do everything from scratch. Like I might try to get some of the color palettes right, but besides that, yeah, no, everything is from scratch.
So, and again, with a character like this, it wouldn't be unheard of to have a face on a layer, and maybe the feet on a layer, and the hands on a layer, and the body on a layer, and just go in and dress it up the way you want it, and still have the same template. But no, you go through and you actually put your work into it, and nobody says that templating is wrong. I'm not trying to say that it is, but
no,
is something
there's
special.
nothing wrong with it.
It is something special when you can actually look at the tiny little details, like just the way his hands are positioned. I like the colorful sock on the small Christmas one, or the mall Santa one. The chicken leading the dumpster sleigh. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, with the ball sack.
Uh-huh.
Everyone hated that.
I love it. I love it so much. But no, that
I kind of want to get that tattooed on my ass.
Oh, please don't. Please. Actually, yeah, do it and live stream it.
if somebody donates $150 to the Streamlabs, I will get that set up after the tattoo shops are back open up here.
Oh God!
Hold on, let me get.
Now I almost feel sorry for you.
Let me get my bank card out real quick. Worth it.
Just to have that chicken.
That's right. No. I'm gonna set it up good. I'm gonna commission the piece as well. Now,
my tattoo artist would probably look at me like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, that's fine. I got money for it.
Yes, but you're about to pay me that money to do it, you idiot.
No, he charges me pretty cheap for the work.
For the hepatitis he gives
so
you.
It probably only costs. Yeah, probably only costs like $80.
Anyway, that actually brings me to a question. What's the level of completeness on this book? When do you expect to have the pages and everything done?
Everything done completely?
Yeah.
Probably by May.
Okay.
So I got basically everything for the NOBDYS written. I got I think around 75% sketched out for NOBDYS, and I think I'm 8 or 9 pages in with the final line art. The SmashedComics one, I think I'm at 60% written. I have a bunch of ideas written down, so I know where I can go with a lot of pages. I also wanted to make sure that in case that there were all the spots on the Be in the Comic perk was claimed, I would have some pages that I could add extra scenes so people could be in.
Okay. Now, let's see here. Make sure.
Well, I have a question about the stretch goals.
Yeah.
So, your next stretch goal at 1,500 US is just nothing.
I still don't know. Again, just to put it in perspective.
See, I thought that was on purpose.
Oh no,
I thought that was on purpose. I thought it was a joke.
I still don't know. I didn't expect to get past 1,000. At least not the first 2 weeks. We hit 1,000 within a week.
Oh yeah.
We broke like I think it was 600 in 3 hours,
Nice.
and I was on stream for that. So for anyone who wants to see that, you can watch like the replay of me just looking at
Freaking
my seeing it, like the campaign go from $100 to 400 in I think 30 minutes. That was a lot to take in.
I like the sketch of the unrealistically realistic arms.
Yeah, like that's the kind of surreal type of humor that I throw in, kind of dry, just just to make myself laugh.
And that's what made me think the empty stretch goal was a joke.
But no.
Honestly, that was more towards the flexible goal.
Well, I tell you what I would do is I would actually just bump your goals up. On the 1,700, I would do the signing at 1,500 and add the 2 pages at 2,000, and maybe just eliminate the 1,700 goal altogether.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
You know, just kind of give you a little bit of breathing room. You don't have to worry about it too much. Just if you wanted to add something for 1,700 later on, you could do that once you got a little closer to it. But I mean, where you're at, the $1,500 goal of signing all the books would be more than enough, I feel.
Yeah, and
because at least it's still manageable at that point. Now, you might hate yourself if this blows up and sells another 10,000, 15,000 copies.
I'm pretty sure my style does not gain that attention. My stuff is too weird to go that mainstream, if you want to call it that.
What he doesn't realize is I'm going to get him on Ethan Van Sciver's show if I can. Just to get him a couple thousand. Just to get him a couple thousand sales, so he'll have to sign all the books. I have no pull to get you on Ethan Van Sciver's show.
Spite me.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to make you successful so you hate me. Son of a bitch, making me all this money.
Son of a bitch makes me have to work for my fucking money and need to sign 1,000 copies.
Just get a stamp made with your signature.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. That's too lazy.
What you'd have to do is you'd have to do a live stream where you sign the comics and then cursed me. Like nonstop, you were just like cussing me out the entire time. Son of a bitch, motherfucking building thinks he's hot shit.
You know what? I would actually do that.
Oh, I will do my level best. I will do my level best to get you to 1,000 backers, sir. that could be your 1,000 backer stretch goal. A video of me cussing out an inanimate object while I sign books. Oh.
I'm just gonna say that's a long shot to get to that point.
I mean,
since it's only at the
it was a long shot to get to 1,000 in a week too.
Yeah, it was.
Don't undersell yourself.
Don't undersell Church's determination to piss you off.
Oh God,
that's right. I want to help him make a lot of money and upset him simultaneously. What can I do? What do
Just
you
make
mean?
sure that my signing arm is going to be completely fucked.
What do you mean you spent $10,000 on an advertising campaign for my book? You could have just backed the book for $10K. You could have just bought $10K worth of copies yourself. No, but I wanted other people to buy them so you would know. Although, how pissed off...
So I wouldn't know.
That's right. How pissed off would it make if somebody just came in and dropped $10K on a fucking 1,000 copies?
I would probably be too shocked to even realize what the fuck happened, and then realize slowly just, Oh fuck! I'm gonna have to sign all these.
Open up a
Oh
comic book
no!
shop. Open up a comic book shop that offers nothing but your book.
Now that's called capitalizing on the market.
I bought all the copies. You got to go through me to get them. What do you mean you're selling them for $11? Not even enough to make up the markup of shipping. Shut up, baby. I don't care. It's ridiculous, and I love it. Oh, so.
And see, that's why I'm not a rich man, because that's the kind of stupid shit I would do just to amuse myself.
Yes, it is. It's the best way to do it. Anyway, I think that covers pretty much most of the campaign. Let's look at the perks real quick. You can get a physical copy of NOBDYS or SmashedComics for $10. You can get a line art variant of SmashedComics for $10. One of each book is a discount at $15. Calendar of Shakes is $20. Two of each book, $31. $30, but I'm guessing adjusted. It ends up being 31.
It rounded up. I don't like this website when it converts.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not the website's fault. It's your country's fault for using a currency called NOK.
Yeah, it is. You're completely right.
Never blame anything on America. America is just fantastic, and we've already covered. I even know that's a lie. We already covered the Be in the Comic perk as well, where you get a copy of both books as well as being featured. 3 of those spots still available.
Yep.
Surprisingly, no one has claimed a calendar of Shakes yet, and that makes me sad.
Well, that might also be because we added that like earlier this week.
Okay.
So we were already a week into the campaign when I decided to add that, because I needed to figure out where can I get calendars from.
And this is just a general shout out. I actually kind of work in that field where I can find out where to get stuff like that made and shipped. So if you guys ever have a problem like that, let me know. Like anybody making a book or making stretch goals or anything like that, if you need to find somebody to produce it, let me know. I might not be able to find the best place ever, but I can at least get you started on the path to find a place to do it. So,
right on. Might need that in the future.
I've done calendars. I've put people's logos on golf balls before, for God's sake. When you work in that, people think when I tell them that I work at a screen print and design company that I just draw on T-shirts all day. Well, no, actually, I have to figure out how to put people's logo on shit that nobody should ever want a logo on.
Oh yeah.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, I got one the other day. It was a compass, and they wanted to put a monogram on it for a young boy, and I'm just like, first off, when I was a kid, I didn't know what the fuck a monogram was. Secondly, as an adult, it's something women wear. Why are you buying it for a little boy? Secondly, why are you putting it on a tactical compass? Who the fuck is going to steal this? And if they
I don't know. We might. You guys seem to be on your way to apocalypse, so who knows?
That's right.
He's got a point.
Yeah, I need to put my church logo on my Flint and Striker. Jesus Christ. Let me put my logo on all my fucking bullets. No, it's just people want to brand the stupidest shit in the world, and you do it for them one time, and the requests just start getting more and more and more absurd. what was the most recent one? A cat collar they wanted with a company logo on it. Apparently, they had a mascot cat. They also bought a very tiny T-shirt for this cat, and we had to print on that very tiny T-shirt on a sleeve pad. That was a bunch of fun.
Can I send you a butter knife to have a logo put on?
Yeah. Yeah, just make sure it's stainless steel.
Okay.
Yeah, I can engrave on stainless steel. You know,
Just glancing around my house looking for absurd things to have something
Oh,
imprinted on.
you can.
I gotta get myself a nobody spoon.
That's right. No. Go all out. You need a military grade and nobody's branded tactical spork.
Yeah, those things are the shit.
I mean,
Okay, you have a point. Yeah.
Yes, I've put logos on sporks before as well. Boy Scout logos, actually. So
That one kind of makes sense.
yeah, not really. I mean, it's a fucking spork. If you can't keep up with it, then having your scout insignia on it isn't gonna help. Fuck's sake.
What about a Coca-Cola bottle cap?
I mean,
That sounds like a pain in the ass.
I could do it. I have a pad printer that could do it. That's how they tag.
But I still want the Coke logo on there. I just want something engraved over top of it.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be engraved. It would be printed on a pad press that they use to print the inside neck label of T-shirts. But yeah, I could do it.
Oh.
I don't engrave plastic if I can help it. The toxic fumes. I say that, you know, as I smoke another cigarette.
Right.
But what are you gonna do? Anyway, now that we derailed on talking about all the things that I can brand,
A pack of cigarettes.
I could. Yes, those are paper. I could engrave. I could engrave the surface level off the actual pack, but still leave the integrity of the cardboard. Just, you know, have it etched out a little bit so that you saw that it was engraved. I can actually. My laser is tactical enough.
Get it like monogrammed.
Well, the laser is actually fine tuned enough that you can actually engrave halfway through a sheet of notebook paper without tearing through it. Yeah, like I could etch away 50% of the integrity of the paper without ripping it or tearing it. Now, if it caught on fire, I have nothing I can do to stop that.
What's the practical application of being able to do that?
Actually, there is one. When you're doing a, I'm sure this is enthralling Blackout. I apologize.
It's
Tactical
fine.
application is like, say you're doing a wedding gift of wine glasses, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, wine glasses are irregularly shaped, so you want to take something like masking tape or, you know, adhesive palette tape, something with a light adhesion that will come right off without leaving a residue, but still will cover the surface of whatever you're engraving, and you do a test run, but you don't want it to cut through the paper and scar the glass, so you can do a test run on the outside of the glass and make sure your positioning is good, make sure your machine's not going to drop the glass and break it midway through the run. That
Fair
kind
enough.
of thing. But yeah, there is a practical application to being able to burn halfway through a piece of paper. But anyway, let me just open the floor up to you. Is there anything that we didn't hit on that you wanted to talk about with the project, or anything you wanted to bring up about it before we move on to anything else?
I mean, the only thing that was kind of skipped over was the cover for the NOBDYS, which is done by another friend of mine, Jelloster. It was really fucking good.
That's a Jelloster to us Americans.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm sorry that I'm not saying the name right.
That's right. But But yeah, you've got Disky, Joke, and Blackout here on the cover, busting through the paper of the cover, I assume, or the wall, or however you want to look at it. And they look like they're up to absolutely no good. Joke's got his signature biker vest on, already clown painted up, ready to go. You're the only one not smoking on this cover, though. So congratulations there, setting a good example for
Well,
the youth.
I'm the only one of them who doesn't smoke, so it's just real life.
Fair enough.
Yeah, again, I've been in the same room as those two, so yeah, I'm the only one who's not smoking. I drink.
Well, you're
Then you're in good company.
Yeah, you're in good company there. I'm enjoying the last.
That's what I thought.
Some Jameson Irish castmate. So the stout edition.
Hell yeah.
Ayrton, I turned Ayrton onto that a while back. Usually a Scotch guy, but my liquor store got some more of this in, and well, I've been saving the good Scotch for when the boogaloo goes down with this virus.
You're just gonna enjoy a good glass of that and just watch the world burn.
Oh no, I'll be
Basically.
actively burning the world while I drink. You don't. I get a little too much bourbon in me, and I either start rapping or start setting the world on fire, one or the other.
Or both.
Well, usually both, but no. So you got this cover from Jelloster. Let me put his name in the description as well. That's at Droopy Eyeballs on Twitter. If anybody wants to check that out, but I will credit that here in the description, so you can check out all the creative minds by the link down in the description. You can check out the Indiegogo on the link down in the description as well. Check this out. Share it around, even if you don't want to back it or it's not your thing. Share it around. Even just getting
any
eyeballs
support
on it
is appreciated.
It definitely is,
like,
because I'm trying to get this man to 1,000 copies that he has to sign. We will be happy to host the signing stream here. I will run the OBS and get drunk and pass out in true failure fashion.
It's you realize it's going to be the next 2 weeks of church just every day tweeting out the link to your Indiegogo.
Right. If it gets me to 1,000 copies, okay, fine. I'll fucking sign 1,000 copies. I'm not gonna enjoy it.
No, what it'll be is 999 copies, and then somebody will buy a copy of the calendar, and he'll get me out on a technicality. He didn't get 1,000 copies, asshole. Fuck.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to sign that calendar then.
But no, you do have some cool tiers where a shop could buy multiple copies, so that's awesome. I like seeing that. It's also good for somebody like me who, occasionally buys crowdfunded books for the co-host here. We tried that experiment. I'll probably do that on things that are a little closer to fulfilling going forward, because it's really, really weird waiting 6 months for 2 shipments going to 2 different addresses.
Oh, absolutely.
That was a bit odd.
I got his shipping information because I had backed it already, and instead of rebacking it because I wanted to get a copy of the ash can, I just changed the shipping address on the first one and just rebacked it again under my address. So. But again, I'm really against.
That's why it was such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, I'm really against canceling campaign contributions, even if I just plan to reback it at a higher tier, because I don't like people to even have to pay that $2 or $3 because I made a mistake or I wanted to add something to my order or something.
Right.
With Monster MD, Von Klaus. Are you familiar with that project?
I am.
When he launched, I didn't know that he was doing a sketchbook with it. It was right there on the page. I was just so enamored by actually backing the book that I didn't pay any attention. And when I found out about the sketchbook and what it included, I had to have it. So I messaged him and I was like, "Is there any way to add a sketchbook without canceling it?" He's like, "No, just cancel it." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not gonna make you pay $2 so that I can go and back it at a higher rate. I'll just back it again."
There is a way to add it.
Yeah, we figured it out eventually.
Yeah.
He was just like, "Don't worry about it. I don't mind the $2 or whatever." And I'm like, "I mind the $2. So just let me know if there's a way to add it, or I'll just back the damn campaign again." I'll just have 2 copies. I mean, what? Not like I can't give one away. But no, I really like the idea of the SmashedComics and the NOBDYS. I'm really looking forward to the NOBDYS more so than the other. Just the misadventures of you guys and Joke. It seems like it would be something really fun to read, and I've kind of missed that adult humor that Mad Magazine used to provide. For the simple fact that it's just not politically correct over here in America anymore, so you just don't get it. Like,
Well, that's also the thing. My comedy is not political at all. Like, I really don't give a shit about politics.
well, it's not
Like-
not about being political. I mean, it's politically correct in the sense that, yeah.
Yeah, no, but I know a lot of the Mad Magazine for a while had a lot of politics and their humor. So yeah, no, in that sense, yeah, no, I completely get what you mean.
But yeah, you can't even, like, it's all stupid humor now. Like, it's all humor that really tries to, I don't know, downplay
It's like
your
12-year-old.
intelligence. Yeah, it makes you feel like you're a fucking teenager again, and I don't like it. I like the old the Ren and Stimpy and the Beavis and Butthead and stuff. The like you said, the Ed, Edd and Eddy and the Rocko's Modern Life. It wasn't sophisticated, but it wasn't just senseless either. Like, there was a nuance.
It could be senseless.
Well, there was a nuance
Yeah.
to the humor. You would
Also,
never,
you could be clever about it.
well,
Right.
I mean, I think back on it, and one of the crowning achievements of Ren and Stimpy was to make me laugh for a solid day, because they had an episode where they were in a house that had a toilet seat warmer, but the toilet seat warmer was just a fat guy being lowered out of the ceiling onto the toilet seat for about 5 minutes. And it was stupid, and it made no sense whatsoever, but it was just so hilarious, just in the execution of it, that everyone just accepted this as being, see what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone just played it straight. Like, everyone just accepted that this was how this worked.
And then you sat there trying to figure out if this was an actual career choice you could have.
Let's just say I was very disappointed when it came to be career day at my middle school. What do you mean pie taster isn't a job opportunity? Novel Bro's going off in the chat. Nihilism for the win. I'm not sure.
Oh, jeez.
I couldn't be a nihilist. It seems exhausting. Nobody gets that.
Oh
reference?
no! Should we get him going off on something? Should we get him going off on something else?
No. Let's not do that.
Huh? Oh, too late.
Okay. So, and I said to him, I don't care if you have a stethoscope. For all I know, you might be some homeless dude who walked in from the street and just put on a doctor's coat. Your greasy sausage fingers aren't going in my pooper.
There you have the comedy of the NOBDYS.
That's right. No, I enjoy it. You're doing the lettering as well on this. We didn't actually cover that. So you're doing the whole shebang.
Oh yeah.
You're doing
Again, that's why the cost of the book is also kind of low. Like, it's just me doing most of the most of the art and lettering, and the stuff that I have had other people do I've already paid out of pocket for.
Now, are you able to not able to? Are you currently toying around with a second issue of either one of these? Like, have you got plans to continue either one of these on? Or?
Well, the actually, yes, kinda. The NOBDYS, I'm probably gonna continue just because I have a lot of fun making stuff with the Killing Joke and Disky.
Right.
And SmashedComics is kind of just me writing down jokes and just trying to draw them. Actually, a good way to explain it is it's kind of a shitposting book. My art is kind of shitposting.
That's literally the point of this show is we shitpost and talk about comic books that we like, and try and bring some creators on to shoot the shit with. So you're in good company.
Exactly.
And call out people like Comic Book Hut, you little bitch.
Or Rob Liefeld, you big bitch.
Yeah.
New cover. I'm just checking the updates on the page here. Everyone who pledges gets a copy of Terry Toughcunt comic by Lord Byron. We don't have any samples of that to show anyone currently.
Which I love that name, by the way.
Do, Terry Toughcunt.
Oh, yeah, and just guess once where he's from.
Oh, that would be the UK.
Oh no.
No? Australia then?
Full blown Aussie. Yeah. Of course.
Then technically I was right because they started in the UK.
Yeah. I don't think I actually posted any of the Terry Toughcunt stuff.
There's a small image of the cover, but adventure, drugs, violence, and VBs. I don't know what VBs are.
Yes, VB is a type of beer from Australia.
Yeah.
His art style is a bit more like, I don't even know what to call it. It's a lot messier, but it's kind of suits.
That's
it's
Victoria Bitter.
Yes,
I
that's
know
VB.
that because of a friend of mine, an internet friend, if you will, Randbot 2020, aka Twitter Victoria, on Twitter. He uses the Victoria Bitter logo for his for the. We give him shit all the time because I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Ralph Retort. He was a temporary co-host on there before the platform said no. But he used to catch a lot of shit because you know how Foster's in America is portrayed as an Australian beer, even though it's brewed in Canada and mainly consumed in the U.S. Foster's isn't an Australian beer. I don't even know that you can get it in Australia. But
who knows at this point?
That was the joke, is that he was always drinking Foster's, so he kind of went on a diatribe about BB at one point. So
okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But next time you talk to Lord Byron, ask him how he feels about Mrs. Mack's sausage rolls. That's the important question. Apparently, all Australians love those things.
Yeah, I'll ask him when I talk to him next time.
Yeah, Mrs. Mack's sausage rolls. It's very important. I need to know. Not tonight. Oh. Anyway.
Yeah, you'll probably get us on throughout the week.
Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on to talk about the comic. Again, is there anything else you wanted to talk about that we might have skipped over? Is there, like, do you have any? I mean, the floor is yours. Is basically where I'm going.
Okay. Well, there's not much else to say. Like, I'm just honestly doing this because I want people to read my comics. Like, That's all I've ever wanted. I mean, if I wanted to go for success, I would have done things a lot differently. But at this point, I just want people to read some dumb shit.
I might have written something that, wouldn't get you thrown out of a polite society party.
I might have written something that wouldn't get me thrown out of the industry. Yeah.
Yeah. But where's the fun in that?
Or have a cover that doesn't have someone shitting.
I mean, your target demographic.
It works.
I mean, it tells you exactly what it is. It's someone taking a shit in a comic form.
Well, it's very meta because this is where the majority of people will be reading the book. Now, I do have to know.
I mean, I'm literally going to read it on the toilet.
Why is there?
That's what it's made for.
Why is there a guy with R. Lice on his hat? Oh no, it's police. Never mind. Why are 2 police officers interrupting this young man's shit with a saw?
Because it smells like someone died in there.
Okay. All right.
Just out of suspicion.
Okay. That makes sense. Who's going to pay for this hole then? Obviously not the police. It's not their problem. They were investigating a crime.
No, it's full on cartoon style. So they're just gonna put the wood back into place, and no one will ever notice that thing.
Right, it'll just be perfectly sealed. I love it. It's great. All right, but yeah, I really like it. Like I say, I appreciate you coming on to talk with us. I think that's about all of my
and being
questions.
up at this ungodly hour.
Yeah, for you, this hour is pretty terrible. Tell the people at home if they don't already know. But our guy here,
it's almost 6 a.m.
Yeah, he's almost got to go to work tomorrow, and whereas over here at the Grand East Coast, it's not quite midnight yet.
Oh yeah. It's closing in though.
But in any event, I will give you first off, Indiegogo, SmashedComics, the First Dump, and the NOBDYS. The link is in the description down below. Check out Final Blackout on Twitter at NoFinalBlackout. Check out The Killing Joke on Twitter at The Killing Joker. Let me make sure I've got everybody else right real quick. Blah, blah, blah. Check out SemajZ at _SemajZ_. That's SemajZ, the capital Z. Geneva is at art_garbage. Is that 2 underscores? Yeah, 2 underscores.
Yes.
At __garbage. Lord Byron has been yeeted off of Twitter, so that is pending. And Jelloster as at Droopy Eyeballs. And those are the people involved in this project. Show them some love. Share the link around. Back it if you can or you want to. Any plans for a one question? Any plans for a digital copy in the future?
I might do that after everyone has gotten their copies.
Okay.
I want to make sure that everyone gets their copies first, and then I can think about doing a digital release.
Right. Yeah. Just put it up on a website for like $4 or $5.
Yeah. Actually, I would probably that sounds a lot. I would probably put it at like 2.
Put it out.
Again, I'm treating this as like I'm the low end of the comic book industry. Like I'm just throwing shit out there for.
Have you seen Rob Liefeld's drawing?
I mean, I think I saw him draw Deadpool.
He created Deadpool, but you didn't see him draw Deadpool's feet.
True. It's not like one of his
signatures,
more famous thing. Yeah, just not drawing feet at all.
Yeah, We've and too many pouches. Also, too many pouches.
Yeah, your characters need more pouches. What the hell, Franz?
That's right. Joke doesn't have enough pouches
Okay,
in his face. But no. Anyway, we just joke. I have no animosity towards Rob Liefeld. I just think he should unblock me on Twitter, you cunt. But
well, maybe that'll happen in the future.
no, it probably won't. I'll just make fun of him again until he blocks me again. It's a vicious cycle. There's no hope for me. But again, thank you very much for coming on and staying up to this ungodly hour.
Thank you for having me on.
Oh, well,
It's again, it's been way too long. I should have been on for a couple of months ago at this point.
But now we have a comic book to shill and get to 100 backers, or get to 1,000 backers.
1,000 backers.
That's right.
Oof.
That's right. We're gonna get
That's
there.
a long road.
But technically, it would only have to be 500 if everybody bought both books.
Yeah, I was gonna say 1,000 backers if they buy both books. He's gonna have to sign 2,000 books.
Oh no!
I want all
Oh,
1,000
God.
backers. I want all 1,000 backers to actually back the two of both tier.
So I'm gonna have to sign four copies per person. Oh Jesus Christ, that's gonna be a long time.
So you hear that, everybody? We all know you know somebody who would enjoy this book, as you would as well.
That's right.
You need something to read on the toilet? I got the book for you.
Yep. Have one for the bathroom and one for the comic box. It's simple.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you know.
And worst case, if you guys run out of toilet paper again, you'll have a book.
He's going to release a perk next week.
Just watch out for paper cuts.
That's what I was getting at. He's going to release a perk next week where the entire book is printed on 2-ply. You actually read it while you unroll it. That's actually a genius idea.
There's a marketing gimmick right now.
That's actually not a dumb idea. If I did it in webcomic style, where it's like
every sheet is a different comic. Yeah, every sheet's a different comic.
Every sheet is a different panel.
I gotta get off. I gotta get off the stream and make some calls.
You're gonna make a patent for that.
That's right. I'm gonna wipe my ass with Garfield tomorrow. Anyway, sir, thank you again for coming on. We definitely would like to, if you would like, I want to try and schedule you to come back on near the end of the campaign. See where you finally end up. We'll do one final push near the end if you're open, if you have some time.
Hell yeah, man.
But
that sounds good by me.
With that, we'll get that scheduled off the air. Ayrton, you got any questions? Any final thoughts?
I'm looking forward to the toilet paper roll edition.
That's right. we'll be working on that one. I'll let you know about it next show, folks. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming out and supporting. Thanks everybody for liking, subscribing. Thank the new follower. I believe I picked up a new follower on the channel, so thanks for that. This stream also got Opal to follow me on Twitter, so shout out to Opal. Novel Bro, Matt Christie, Ayrton McCartney, obviously the co-host. Hey man, nice shot, Opal, Taco Stania, Fringo, which I believe is Disky.
Yep.
Let's see, Killing Joke. I think that's everybody. Appreciate everybody for coming out. Check out SmashedComics, the first dump, and the NOBDYS on Indiegogo. 2 30-page comics, so 60 pages of comics for $15. Can't go wrong. Let's get him to as many copies as he can possibly sign. And we hope to see you again in the future, sir.
Yeah, I hope to be on in the future.
All right, buddy. Thank you again. And with that, Ayrton, if you would please do the honor.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, there it is.